I think deep down I want to predict Invictus to win it, just based on the performances so far, but I can't. The logic plays through. I have to predict ViCi to win this one.
I won't really I can't really argue with that. I feel like I want to see this matchup play out, and honestly, okay, fine. I'm gonna say ViCi as well. I think it's still gonna go all the way to 3
Oh,
maps.
definitely.
The caveat would be based on the previous result. If you look at it, it was a close first 2 maps, and then ViCi ran away with Inferno as a decider, right? And we're seeing the same 3 maps being played out here today. It's gonna be Nuke, it's gonna be Mirage, it's gonna be Inferno again. The caveat being, I casted that previous game, and right before Invictus played ViCi, they played a 3-mapper against Beyond, where one of the maps went to quadruple or pentuple overtime, and the other 2 maps were like 16-14 and overtime as well. So they had like almost a 4.5-5 hour game before they had to play ViCi, and you could see clearly they were making a little too many mistakes. They were exhausted by the end of it. This time around, they're well rested, they're ready, they're maybe even prepared to face off against ViCi here. So I feel like even if Invictus win this one 2-1 or 2-0, I wouldn't really be too surprised. They have impressed me. They beat Tyloo, can't really count that out. And here we go, the ViCi. You have them on the T side here, side being picked by the side of Invictus, but that's very, very weird from Invictus. Just getting picked apart one by one. ViCi is swarming all over the place. Great utility usage, and Invictus not really looking to take the fight early on, meaning that Xiao Sage, the in-game leader, the captain, is going to be left alone in a 1v5. He finds one, but this should be it.
Well, Xiao Sage down here in the bomb site. He will eventually go down. King gets rid of him, and there it is. ViCi with a pistol win. Now, last time we get to see Invictus play on this map, we got to see Flying get a 1v4 clutch with a Zeus. Well, it all started with a Zeus, not 4 kills with a Zeus, so I have to preface that. But it definitely was some crazy stuff coming in from Invictus, so I kind of want to see that level keep up again. I want to see them be able to show us what they've got. Right now, though, the most exciting thing for ViCi is they've got off to the good start. Now they get the SMGs into play. It's Alman, King, Advent as well on the SMGs, 2 rifles, no AKs, it's just the Galils. Look what we have here. Invictus on the Deagle's player. Now we know throughout this tournament, this has been a scary prospect.
This has been a scary prospect, and it slipped my mind, Dinko. Thank you for reminding me of how absolutely insane Invictus can be with the Deagle. So my Deagle meter is going to come out. I'm opening my Excel file. In a number of rounds, Invictus win only with Deagles, but it's... I was about to say, it doesn't go off to a good start with Zoking getting the opening kill, but Flying will ensure that a trade does come in. So for ViCi, it's about using utility, trying to work as a pack, not really giving too many opportunities for Invictus to spam those body shots. The Diva's getting hunted down, and it's going to go for the peak. Gets a tag onto Jam, and Kaza taking a bit of damage as well. Boy, comparatively a quieter player in the server, but he does have his moments. But it looks like normal services will reign here. Dinko, the Deagle's not doing much. All the Flying does get a kill. And Jam Young is kind of low, so Flying could do a bit more damage. Deagle's going to come on out. He's feeling more comfortable with a hand cannon, and he's going to creep on up, upgrades to a Galil. There is a player not really going to go for the hunt. A peek comes in from Jam Young, trying to time the opening of the door, and Flying, he could make this possible, Dinko. If he clears the angle, gets a kill up close, that could be quite scary, but no, Omen's going to deny him, and that will be the Galil and the UMP retrieved. Bit of damage being dealt, though.
Well, you take a look at coming up here, it's going to be the rifles again for ViCi, this time and a little bit of AK-47 presence. And Invictus, they do not win the Deagle,
really have
so
to
we
do
will
that.
be
It's
seeing
fine.
them just on the USPs. Full eco coming up here for Invictus. Over for ViCi, this should be an easy round. This is one they should be picking up with not too much resistance at all. Now, well, I want to talk about Destroyer. We didn't really get to talk about Destroyer much throughout this pre-show, and I think he's a player with flashes, glimpses of his performance, his capabilities, but he never really shows it consistently, and it's frustrating because I feel like he's got that raw talent, but doesn't really come through all that often.
I agree. I feel like I think one of the more frustrating things about Invictus, like if you look at, for example, ViCi, right? You know what you're getting with the players. You know what Kazi is gonna do. Like right now, the best player playing in Asia, not counting Bented, who's an NA right now, and I don't think anyone's gonna argue with me on that fact. By far the best AWP player, by far the best player as well, the Malaysian Wonder Kid, and then the second best player, or maybe sometimes even the star of this team, is Jam Young. You know, kid out of nowhere, getting picked by Advent and just being absolutely phenomenal. And then you have Almond and Zoking. Zoking, the entry guy, the guy you send in to go for these crazy plays. Almond, kind of like the X factor. And then you have Advent, big brain Advent, not really much of a fragger, but he knows what to do when it comes to calling. You know the elements in this lineup. And you look at Invictus, and like you said, Destroyer, I've seen him play certain series against ViCis, against the Tylus, against some of the better teams in the region, and just dominate. Looks so damn good. You've seen Flying, you've seen Viva, Xiao Sage. Oi, not so much, but you know the level that these players can hit. It's just that I rarely see all five of the players not necessarily peaking at their absolute best, but playing at a high level at the same time. If that happens, if they're able to crack that puzzle, I feel like they could be an even way more dangerous team than what they are right now. And I agree with you. Destroyer is a very capable opper, but the consistency, and when I say consistency, I'm not just throwing random words. It's just about sometimes the placement, sometimes the timing of the rotation, sometimes he doesn't know when to peak with his teammates. And I'm not just putting the blame on him. The entire system.
That's all I was about to bring
lose.
up. Now we talk about Xiao Sage being a fragging in-game leader, but for the most part, we don't really see a system in place here for Invictus. So perhaps if they work something out there, that's when these individuals can be fully unlocked. And while Viva getting aggressive, he's going to find one, goes back in for an opportunity onto the second tier, but the smoke's going to deploy, and Viva, well, he's under pressure, still going to stay alive, now gets out of position. Luckily, his teammates Molotov can assist him. So he gets out of position now. 4 versus 4, initial damage being traded back and forth, but a double stack towards Heaven from the CT side.
Molotov a little too late though, and that's a free kill. Zoking gets taken down, trade does come in. Advent and Kaze, oh, that's rough. I really felt like Invictus would have had a better opportunity there. Now Destroyer creeping up in hand, timing needs to be perfect. Advent peeks out, brilliant shot. That should be the call for the save. Yeah, there we go. Viva just goes, he climbs up, he climbs down Dinko. He knows it's done.
Yeah, he's just going to climb away. And he was a player that started this round off pretty well for Invictus. Gets aggressive in towards the ramp. He's confident to take those fights early on. And that's what I want to see from Invictus. I want to see them be confident and take these fights to ViCi and show that they'll be able to out-duel them. Not really working out in this round. Invictus then go down. We'll feel molly there from Kaze, but he does get flashbangs through nonetheless. And then actually drops to, oh, catch now fly. Okay, that's a round from Kaze. You know, ups and downs. It's like life, Blair.
I'm confused. The flying, I mean, the flashbangs, the failed Molotov, that should be a dead giveaway. That it plays right above him. And he doesn't bother waiting or maybe making sure his process trained there. I'm confused.
Confusing times ahead, and well, it's going to be Destroyer that takes down Joking through the smoke. And now man advantage in play for Invictus, thanks to this man on your screen. Now Jam Young towards outside. Kaze behind the smoke. Advent already down towards secret stairs. They are looking for this trade. They've been unable to find it so far. Flash in towards Mini. Shasake over there. And he is going to go down. Kill from Jam Young to start things off. And now, 4 versus 4. Still plenty of time left to work with here as well, Bless. So this isn't going to be easy for Invictus to hold on. They have got a good bit of control now, info as well, as Viva pushes through lobby, but he comes back to the site. They're scared of this Heaven wrap, but the players are going towards the lower bomb site from this T side.
Yeah, at least can't really blame Invictus for being extra proactive in this one. They're going for the risky plays, and they need to, right? I mean, they just have the 2 deagles, the M4 in the hands of Viva. Viva kind of on his own, which I'm not personally a big fan of. I would rather have one of his teammates be with him on this little excursion of his. It's all about timing. Jam Young spots him out, but nice move from Viva. Doesn't take any point of damage. However, his position has been given up. 3v3. This is doable if Viva stays alive here, and his position has been announced. Advent taking a bit of damage. Now he's waiting for his teammates to come on in, try and play a little bit of a distraction. Give him a little bit of a window to make that M4 go to work.
Well, Almond on the vent launches onto the head of Flying. And now it's just Oi with the AK trying to get back into his lower side. Now winning the round, looking impossible. He is going to get down to Advent. It was all about the damage that he could do there. Now the money available to Invictus, so they can get that AWP out in the hands of Destroyer. They can get the rifles in play. Viva can do whatever the hell he likes. You know, that's the potential we have here with Invictus as well. Viva very solid on that AWP, so we can get a real great double AWP setup. But pulling that out early would be a bit of a risk. So they're going to save as much money as possible left over in reserve cash on Viva and get the rifle out instead. So 5-0, what a start from ViCi, really. They haven't been tested too often. I think the initial aggression coming in from Invictus has been fun to watch, but for the most part, ViCi have actually been able to neutralize it. That's something Tyloo do so well, actually.
True. And I, again, right, I mean, if you just go back to that particular series, Dinko, where ViCi played against Tyloo, ViCi played scared. There's no other way to kind of describe it. The system wasn't really, it didn't seem like it was in place. The peaking wasn't on point. They were just getting manhandled by the individuals on Tyloo, and that is something that rarely happens to ViCi against any other team in Asia. And here we go, Advent opening it up. We talk about Advent and not really being a big fragger, but he has really been stepping up, at least in the past few games we've seen of him. Trade still coming in. Viva doing great work. A player has crept up from the vents. That is a huge one. Now Almond inside a hut. Destroyer crosshair trained. Viva's going to spot him out, and that's going to leave Zoking with that crazy mouse movement of his left in a 1v3. Now bomb is planted for him, Dinko, but this is looking unlikely. This is going to stick it. He's going to have to spam through the smoke. Does a bit of damage with Xiao Sage. Finds the kill. It's going to be round number 1 for Invictus. A great round from Viva from above, from the heavens, getting the 3 kills. And of course, I think it was Xiao Sage creeping up from the vents with a frag of his own.
Yeah, it was. Xiao Sage getting involved. Good stuff. Catches out Advent. If Advent gets that bomb down and also able to get out of position, then obviously we've got a much better chance for ViCi to win this round. But there's a pretty lackluster showing going on towards the site. And Viva, well, he is showing up today. I think early signs, he's got 5 kills right now, but early signs, he's confident. He's taking big swings. He's taking fights to ViCi, and that's what we want to see. So Viva can continue to land shots. He's going to be very fun to watch in this series. Kaze as well. Not such a bad start at all. 8 kills collected, and there's another one.
That's what I'm talking about, going for individual plays. Even if Kaze hadn't hit that shot into Destroyer, there were 2 Ts looking his direction. There were 2 other Ts apart from Kaze. And they just go for these, to try to catch a timing, to try and go for these kind of like wild peaks. And I just feel like it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And that's how ViCi punishes you. They're so methodical in the way they approach this. And look at this. Like, Viva just walks out trying to again catch a timing, gets taken down. No trade. Right, always push up towards lobby, which is fair, trying to find at least a little bit of real estate to work with. But what do you do in a 5v4? Heaven's control has been lost. Oi knows where he is, and it's just looking pretty grim right now.
Now, ViCi answering back almost immediately. After that one round from Invictus, it wasn't even that convincing either, unfortunately, for Invictus. I'm down to a few individuals making plays in the right place at the right time, and when it's the next round, ViCi prevail. They only lose to 1 player. 6-1 on the board. So far, so good from ViCi. I mean, the money's not really all that bad for the most part here from Invictus. They won't be able to get perfect buy here. Probably going to have to go for a little half investment. So we should be looking at 7 rounds on the board for ViCi here. On the T side of Nuke, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad at all. Kaze, man. Like, 11 kills, and he's opping. Oh. And I feel like it's not just about how skilled he is. We, of course, know what the shots that this man can hit. But also the system that Advent provides him, I think really adds a lot to it. And I feel like if you slot in almost any other opera in the Asian region into Kaze's position, I think it would do much better. And I think it's credit to both, Kaze's individual skill as well as how Advent works him, in the midst, kind of like a moving mobile turret of death, basically. And then of course, he's left in a 1v2 clutch situation with the op, and we still know what he's gonna do, right? So, just such a great player, and I feel like one day it would just make me happy for him to go the way of Bentet at one point in time. If ViCi continues to just kind of like remain the 2nd best team in Asia, at one point I would love him to kind of fulfill his dream, so to speak, you know, just playing some team, NAU, I don't care. He can speak very good English.
Well, that is always the positive sign for players that start to come out of these regions. And I think another amazing thing, obviously the ideal situation would be the whole Asian scene rises up, right? You wouldn't have to go and leave. Unfortunately, right now, it's not really in that place. And what Destroyer is going to catch Advent, Jam Young, and Shoking, getting the kills on the last few. So 7-1, ViCi keep 3 players alive. And now we move into this next round with Invictus finally getting the money back in. It's going to be the ult back for Destroyer, the rifles in play. A couple of rounds ago, we got to see Invictus take their first win. Was very short-lived, though. We did see an immediate answer back coming in from ViCi.
I remember, I think it was Mitch who was bringing up this entire thing about like comparing UK Irish Counter-Strike with Asian CS, and I think he had a very good point when it comes to how in the UK some of the players, some of the better teams are, you know, they're basically the big fish in a small pond. In Asia, it is a bigger pond. It's almost an ocean, but it's a very shallow pond, which is kind of a weird analogy if you ask me, but. Okay, that's messy. That is messy from ViCi, though. I'm going to get back to the point later on. It's 2 free kills. They know where the third player is as well. They saw him drop down towards fence. And it's still going to get the bomb down? Advent's alone. Kazi's towards outer yard. He's far, far away. And the other teammates towards the lobby. So Advent has to do a lot of work. This is so weird. Almond gets taken down. Now it's Advent basically in a 1v5. Just... Okay, Dinko, help me.
Well, we'll see if Advent can do this. He is not really known for his fragging ability, but he has been showing up. And now that Molotov, that causes a few issues for him. And unfortunately, it burns him to a crisp. Now it's just Kase sprinting in with his Tech 9. Oh, God, what a round that was. At least Invictus do clean it up, only losing the 1 player. Each get the bomb plant. Their money's looking solid. They don't have to worry too much going into this next round, but that is not the performance that ViCi were kind of hoping for in that round. So, coming into this next one, it's the AKs out in play. Invictus gaming over here, Destroy with the AWP, the AK-47s recover for the CT side, and the M4A4s for Viva and Oi. So this is a good chance for them to start grinding their way back into this first half, because immediately they've been on the back foot quite significantly. ViCi have been dominant in these first couple of gun rounds, but finally Invictus fighting back.
Fighting back, helped out by a very weird round from ViCi. Then they go back to bread and butter again. Just as outer yard control, non-existent for Invictus. There's no other word for it. Zoking's already just pushed towards the lower bombs. It's a minute and 26 seconds, so I think it was a minute and 30 seconds there, Dinko. They've lost 2 players, make that 3 now. And they've lost control of the lower bombs. I know it's all going to come down to Viva. And unfortunately, the timing is absolutely terrible. And it's all on flying. And he needs to be perfect, but yeah, I don't think. Yeah. No.
Well, my feed kind of lagged out a little bit there, Bless, so unfortunately...
Okay, I thought that was just mine. So just like...
yeah, so
winged it.
That's okay. Just wondering, in case you're wondering why I wasn't able to provide any input. What the hell just happened? Well, Alman, very confident in terms of the fights that he's taken. And I think ViCi, this is a different face, you know, you brought up the point, okay, they're looking so scared against Tyloo, and I think that was the exact way to put it. They give them way too much respect. I think they have this huge mental block against him, and they just completely play a different style. They don't play ViCi style, they play anti-Tyloo style, and it doesn't really work for them. So coming into this game, you know, they're just more confident. It's like they have less respect for Invictus, and I like it. I like this ViCi.
Yeah, it's complete faith and trust in the system, and it shows, right? Viva now floating above. This could work on out, but he should get checked, and he will get checked. So methodical of ViCi. This is so good. I mean, I don't want to sound like rude, but after watching 2 games we've seen so far, This is probably the best side we've seen from any team. Like, ViCi just looks so clean and methodical. Yeah, they fed a couple of kills to Destroyer there, at least the second one. It was a little bit unnecessary, but still 3v3. Advent has been looking so very good, though. He's found 2 kills already. Almost actually does find Destroyer in the end, leaving it all on Oi, but Kaze is there to deal the final blow, 9-2. But you gotta say, Dingo, this is clean Counter-Strike from ViCi.
Oh yeah, it's really clean. This is probably the best Counter-Strike that we've seen in terms of being fundamentally sound as well. And also, they're just playing well on an individual level. So it's good to see. Kaze's 13-4 right now. So the quickest starts, one of the most impactful starts from a team we've seen so far. It is a marathon, not a sprint, Blessu. We already seen, you know, huge scorelines can be a little bit misleading. We've seen Bren a little bit earlier on toss away a very convincing lead to go on to lose the series. And while Jam Young taking down Destroyer, that's not exactly the position Destroyer would like to have found himself in. That Molotov certainly threw a few issues at him. And now ViCi with the man advantage, looking to take 10 rounds.
Yeah, this is extremely lopsided at the moment.
Oh.
Okay.
What's going on?
All right, I'm gonna shut up now.
Step 1, Blair. And Viva get another one here. It's going to drop down into Vent. He obviously did the initial damage, but it's Oi that has taken the kill. Well, Oi still alive, lurking on this A-bomb site, searching for his next victim. And oh, there we go. Jam Young goes down. Oi with the headshot. And now it's a 3 versus 3. Oi getting aggressive again. Around the corner, Alman. He knows that Oi's likely to get aggressive and he's ready for it. I feel like that might be a little overzealous from Oi. You can't blame him. That was a brilliant round so far from it. Now his teammates have to pick up the scraps. Viva has taken a lot of damage on board.
I have my Excel sheet open now. Yeah, I'm just ready to like write in, you know, the rounds won by Invictus. Fat zero right now, which is so strange. I just want to point out, like, the previous time these two teams played Nuke, it did go down to overtime. My feet lagging a little bit for me, Dinko, so take this one away.
Indeed. Oh well. It's just not really missing too much, really. It's just this hip goal having to come in from Viva and Charles Sergei. And, well, this isn't the start that Invictus would have hoped for. I think that's pretty obvious. But with the situation that they find themselves in, it's now going to be incredibly difficult to just get into this game overall. And it feels like this game has just started, but already ViCi have 10 rounds coming out of the T side of Nuke. You go into this next round, and I'll be honest, there isn't too many signs of life from Invictus. There aren't anything, nothing's been shown from Invictus to make us feel confident in this team on the CT side. They've had sporadic gun rounds, the rounds they've looked good in, or sometimes just deagle rounds. So for the most part, I'm definitely seeing a world in which ViCi go on to get more than 10 here, probably more than 11, I'd say. Maybe if we're looking at 12 rounds picking up here for ViCi, unless Invictus can scrap together a couple.
Yeah, and this is rough, isn't it? I feel like for Invictus coming into this, I mean, again, I've seen Invictus come back from so many deficit rounds time and time again. Nice shot from Destroyer there. That was no flashbangs, nothing to help him out, but he still manages to win that initial deal. But yeah, for Invictus, I don't really worry for them too much, even if they get like dismantled on this map. I think they have the experience and the mental tenacity to come back on their map pick. But speaking about tenacity, I don't know how that kind of just fell apart. Jam Young, 2 insta headshots back to back, and that's gonna funnel the remaining members of ViCi just straight into the speed bomb site. Bomb's gonna get planted. Jam Young holding the off angle. The 2 players ready and waiting, but Jam Young is not stopping anytime soon. Kazuya finds the store. It's all gone wrong. Again, Dinko. Flying's gonna be left in a 1v3. There is still a chance for him to pull this one off, but it is kind of slim. There's no kit on his body. He's got a smoke and a flashbang, and Kazuya is holding on to the angle, and he's gonna get the double kill. Jam Young and Kazuya, just like that. I think it was like a man advantage for Invictus for like a couple of seconds, and boom, just like that, ViCi just wiped everyone else out of the server.
Well, that was gun round. So now we go to the next one. Finally, starting to see where Invictus are at, and I think this going into week 2. I think this is a very convincing looking ViCi so far. A little bit scary for the rest of the teams in this tournament. You know, if they can't beat Tyloo, fair enough. But if you could beat every other team in the tournament and hope that Tyloo get taken down before they reach the final. And ViCi, who knows what they might be able to do, Blair. I would love to see them sort of get this right. So the storyline develops, they go down to Tyloo. I'll get back to the point, because this MP9 looking to try and rattle them away. It's ViCi that takes down Advent early on. He is going to go in towards the lower bomb site and reposition himself for this potential aggression. And while ViCi, certainly under pressure, Mart's handling it well at the moment here. And Xiaosage is able to assist him. Showking goes around the corner, and this is just good positioning, really, from Invictus. ViCi kind of giving them fights, but Kaze is going to pull one back. 3 versus 4, still a man advantage in play for Invictus, and ViCi has repositioned, aggressive yet again in towards ramp.
Well, this is the, I mean, even if Invictus win the next couple of rounds, I still don't fancy the chances on this map, but whether they win this couple of rounds is going to depend on this one. Kazi and Zoking both kind of low. Zoking somehow head not spotted out. Almond strikes. And suddenly, a round which I felt was in the back for Invictus, it's down to a 2v2. And when you have Almond 100 HP, Dinko, even though Zoking's low, look at the health on ViCi and Xiaosage. They're both blood bleeding out internally. And Zoking's holding a little bit of an off angle. It's just all gone wrong.
Xiaosage coming back into the lobby. He's going to find at least one kill here. Spots the barrel. There's the headshot. Now sprinting in towards the site. There's just enough time, but probably not enough to clear this heaven position, unfortunately. And now there's just no time to win the round. It's going to be Pete. Alwyn plays that one well, just passively sits in heaven, uses his position. And well, I said I wouldn't be surprised if we've seen 12 rounds. I didn't expect it to come that quickly and that easily, Blair. And now I wouldn't be surprised if we see 13. Because going into the last round of the half, they'll have rifles, they'll certainly have those, but for the most part around it, they don't have a whole lot else. They've got a little bit of utility, there's no AWP, there's a FAMAS in the hands of Oi. What's happened here, Blair? It's meant to be the best game of the day.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of predicted the first 2 games to go 2-0, right? And then we like easy games, and we expected this one to go all the way. You know, it's going to be close back and forth affair, and as Mitch likes to say, how the turntables.
So topsy-turvy. Well, shout out to Jason and Mitch. I'm sure they're still recovering from that blockbuster of a game in the second. And well, Soking and Kaze with the kills. Now 4 versus 3. A man advantage in play for ViCi, and it's going to be followed up by Kaze. He'll look for more. A second picked up. That's job done. It's going to be 13-2 at the half.
Jesus.
Oh my, okay. ViCi has pulled it back. He's going to go back for more. That's a 3K. And now just one more player to collect an incredible 1 versus 4. This would be one of the best plays of the tournament so far. ViCi looking for it, and there it is. How clean can you get? ViCi, 1 versus 4, 12 rounds on the board for ViCi. But Invictus, they managed to scrap together a 3rd round all off the back of ViCi. Oh, he's the only player really delivering today as well.
Yeah, I was just about to, I was literally about to start singing a poem praising Kaze, and then ViCi just shuts me up and shuts everyone up as well. 1v4. Will it still be enough though, Dinko? I mean, that was very impressive. Can't take it away, right? We speak about the moments of brilliance that ViCi can have, but at the same time, 12-3 on the T side of your map pick. That is just phenomenal from ViCi. Now, I will never count out Invictus. I know what these guys can do, but I feel like in Nuke especially, ViCi are... Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I don't think anyone else is going to correct me even if I'm wrong, but I feel like ViCi are the best team on Nuke in Asia. So for Invictus to win this one back with the 12-3 deficit, it's going to require an insane performance. And Advent, man, I keep joking about how he's not really a fragger, but he's been putting in the numbers, at least on this map so far.
I think what we have to say here is, because a lot of players, a lot of fans, should I say, think, okay, in-game leaders, we talk about them not really being a fragging in-game leader, and they think, okay, he's a bot, basically. He's only the brain of the team, but he's not, right? So these guys are incredible individuals. And so the difference between a professional player and an average player is incredible. Like, the difference is just unexplainable.
Yes.
And Advent, he's got so much he has to think about. You know, he's got such a system in his head that he has to put all of these players into a position and also concentrate on his own ability. And the fact that he's able to compete against some of the best players in China and be able to frag out like this while also thinking about everything, it's definitely impressive. Well, Zhou takes down Oi. Xiao takes him down as well, and that's just Jam Young. There's nothing he can do here. ViCi are going to lose the pistol round. There's a chance here off the back of Oi, giving them a 4th round and a slight way into the second half.
Oh yeah, indeed. Oh, nice shot from Jam Young there. But yeah, I just want to add on to what he said. I completely agree with you. Even though we might make fun of people like, oh, yeah, Honda and you gone frag, you know, you're talking about like Advent, for example, and we see some of these pro players where, you know, they whiff a few shots and whatnot. Trust me, they would destroy you if you're just playing off against them. Doesn't matter if it's a 1v1 aim map or a pug or a scrim or anything, any game mode you choose in Counter-Strike, they would just take a dump all over you. You wouldn't even know what hit you. And I know this for a fact. I have, I'm not even bringing up some of the top EU players. I've played against Machine Gun. I know how that felt. I haven't felt that violated since my previous relationship. It was painful, excruciating. And we're talking about a team. Okay, I mean, but yeah, I just want to point out that it's not an insult to their over individual level. It's just that compared to, you know, all the actual professional players, they still are, you know, trailing by a little bit. But anyway, getting back to this game here, Invictus, they've started on the, you know,
the right
foot forward here. Yeah, right foot forward here. They won the pistol. This anti-eco is looking solid. I would like ViCi to save the pistols and the scout they have here and be a little bit more threatening the next round. But I still feel this could be a little bit too much to ask of Invictus.
Well, I think it's been too much since we've seen the first half play out. I think towards the later stages of the first half, I realized, well, it's probably going to be a nuke win here from ViCi. I don't see a way in which they drop the ball on the CT side enough for them to not win 4 rounds. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be a situation where Invictus are going to have to do everything right and hope that ViCi makes some unlikely errors, should we say. So this is definitely not looking too likely from Invictus. They're going to come into this round with the MAC-10s, looking to try and continue to bring the cash to the bank accounts. And while over here for ViCi, they're saving most of their money. They know they have rounds to play with. They know they don't have to force the issue early on here. So Invictus should get a few more rounds to at least make this look slightly more respectable.
Well, still up close. Jam Young with the deke finds one. Kaze with the scout. The safe pistols and the scout in the hands of Kaze being quite deadly indeed. There we go, the Malaysian prodigy just dismantling everyone. It's still a 2v3, still able to bring it back. If Flying can somehow find a couple of kills here, but he needs to go big. He doesn't know there's a player near towards Squeaky as well. This could be brutal indeed. Almond's holding the line, waiting, gets spotted out though. The MAC-10's going to come out on top, but he's done the damage. Molotov to keep Kaze at bay towards heavens. It's 2v2. They can potentially bring this one back. However, the player with the bomb, Oi, he needs to cross on over, and the smoke is going to help him out.
Well, Jam Young coming back in from Mini. They line up on the MAC-10. Although Flying turns on just the right time, but he's so low, and Kaze's going to pull it off. Oh my god. Well, ViCi, they're going to be very happy with that. That's an absolute steal. Invictus commits that with everything going their way. ViCi, oh, that's perfect. That's exactly what they were hoping for. That kind of round just turns the game entirely now at this point. Jam Young delivering. A player that wasn't there against Tai Lu, showing up against the third best team in China. And Kaze, well, he delivered shots against Tai Lu, and he continues here as well. Jam Young could have ended the round himself, but it does fall to Kaze. 2 brilliant players delivering successful kills and a successful round here for ViCi now, 13-5 up.
13-5 up. Yeah, that was the round I was a little worried for, right? And again, man, Kaze, dude, like, that final shot, just like the tip of the head poking out. That's the kill. An Advent from above. Ain't quite a problem, using the top of the edge of the smoke. The trade does come in. Kaze should be... Whew! He's so consistent. He is so consistent with his shots. He's like the complete opposite of someone like Machine Gun. And I don't know if you've seen any of his interviews, Dinko. I guess you have, but if you've ever seen his interviews in English or like you've spoken to him, he is probably the softest spoken professional Counter-Strike player out there. But he's just a beast in the server. Here we go. 2v4, they come charging in. A little bit of damage being done on Viva, but Zoking holding the line, finds Destroyer, and it's all in Viva. 1v3. Almond looking to, well, just takes the fight all by his lonesome. There we go.
Yeah, this is
14-5.
This is just a little heartbreaking for Invictus. I don't think there's too many positives really to take here. Apart from that, you know, clutch play from Viva. There's not really been too much for them at all. They've won sporadic rounds throughout the first half. One pistol round where it came close as well, and for the most part, they've just looked so rough. Back to player interviews though. I mean, there's some players in Counter-Strike that just give incredible interviews. My favorites are probably Steel, the Brazilian one.
Oh yeah.
Pooch, I loved his interviews. I love Jerry's as well. And one other player I'm trying to think of.
You got Hooch, you got Man, that's of course Steel. I even like NA Steel. I think he gets very open and honest interviews, right?
Oh, and Dozier, of course, best interviewer.
But I kind of feel like in general, if you look at the players you mentioned, no EU players in the mix. I think EU players generally, you know, even though they have better players, better teams overall, they just give such stagnant answers. Where like, come on, man!
It's like they're too PR.
We played our game.
Way too PR. Well, I suppose Steel now into European team. Well, it's just Shasage left alone into the 1 versus 3. There's been a little bit of damage being done. Jamyoung and Alman going down, but for the most part, this looks like a 15th round for ViCi. It's just Shasage left alone in the world. We'll see if he is a survivor, and he is going to find himself a headshot. Now sprints towards the A-bomb site. He actually has clutched this play. He's got 3 already. Needs 2 more. Can hear those footsteps coming up the vent. He turns around to try and catch up that vent. Oh my god, no! Oh, that is so unfortunate. He thought he got the kill. The nade. Oh, it's actually the nade that got him. Okay, well, nonetheless.
What's the trajectory of the nade? Replay. I need to see that nade.
Well, nonetheless, he could have made that work, Blair. I seen a world in which he peeks around the corner, there's a nade at the ready.
No, listen. That was Advent with his 10,000 IQ nade.
Yep, he was really expecting that.
Oh, I feel bad for Shasage. He played that the best he could.
That's unfortunate.
Can we see the nade, please? Okay, look at the trajectory of the nade, alright? Let's see if it shows up here. It bounced back!
Oh, that is just perfect.
Oh, what a god.
Well,
what an absolute god.
That's that big brain you talked about, Blair. Coming through. Another spray down in towards Alman. He's going to catch out Oi, and now he looks for a little bit more as they push in towards Secret Stairs. Alman throws the Molotov, so if they are to chase after him, they have to take a lot of damage. And that's not going to happen. Instead, they sit back, and now Destroyer crosses just as he knows the smoke is fading. He does take a little bit of damage, but he stays alive. And that's all that matters right now. Invictus need the players. And while Alman looks to try and pick them off piece by piece. Just get around the corner. They will be slowing the play down a little bit here.
It's just been, well, is Kazi at like 30 kills already? I think it's close to 30 kills by now. Just feels like there's a Kazi and Jamyoung show with everyone making cameo appearances. There we go, another kill for Mr. Kazi. And this looks like it, Dinko. I don't really see them bringing this one back. And to be honest, I expected Nuke to go the way of ViCi, but I felt like it would be a little bit more of a closer affair. But this is the ViCi that we are now used to seeing, right? Whenever they play against any other team whose name is Atailu.
Yeah, it's strange. Shasage again, after long, 16-5, and that's definitely a quick performance from ViCi coming in today, showing one of the